Hey math fans, we're on section 5.2.2. Let's get started. In this section, we're still looking at transformations. Remember to take a look at the orientation of the object. Has it been flipped? Is it pointing in the same direction? There's also many different transformations that will actually satisfy a particular graph. In other words, something that has been rotated, let's say 180 degrees, could also be reflected twice. I decided to put all the formulas for the translation, the reflection, and the rotation on this page, which I'm calling your formula cheat sheet. Refer back to this page if you need to quickly do a transformation. Again, here are the common errors and misconceptions. You don't want to use the incorrect transformation formula for the reflections. A lot of times people memorize the formulas and that gets them in trouble. So it's always best to use a formula sheet. You don't want to use incorrect transformations for a rotation. Some people get the direction wrong, clockwise and counterclockwise. Also, sometimes people get in trouble with translating objects and then doing the transformations in the wrong order. Remember, you want to work from the inside out if you are doing multiple transformations. Example 1 says, use the definitions you've learned to graph the translation 2, 3 for triangle ABC. And then it gives the vertices of 1, 1, 3, 5, and 5, 1. First thing you should always do is graph it on a piece of graph paper. There's graph paper in your workbook. And as you can see here, we have points A, B, and C graphed. And then you want to put it through the transformation of 2, 3, which means you're going to be adding 2 to the x value, adding 3 to the y value, and there's your brand new A prime, B prime, and C prime, and then you will want to graph that as well. Notice the object's in the same orientation, or it's pointing in the same direction. Example 2 says, use the definitions you've learned to graph the reflection of the parallelogram ABCD, or there's the shorthand symbol for parallelogram ABCD. And we're going to reflect this in the y-axis. Again, the first thing you should do is graph the object. You got points A, B, C, and D there. As you can see, there's that parallelogram. Graph it on a piece of graph paper. And then use the formula sheet, the cheat sheet, or you could actually do it point by point using the line of reflection, which is the y-axis. Remember, if you are going to use the line, you're going to have to measure how far it is the same distance on the opposite side to correctly reflect in that line. Then graph each of the brand new points, A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. And finally, connect the dots to your brand new points, and you have just reflected parallelogram ABCD. Example 3 says, using the definitions you've learned, graph a 90-degree rotation of triangle ABC with those vertices. First thing you're going to do is take a piece of graph paper, draw triangle ABC. I want to point out that it does not say clockwise or counterclockwise in this particular problem. It just says a positive 90-degree rotation. For a positive 90-degree rotation, we're going to go counterclockwise. Or you could use the formula on the cheat sheet, in which case you just transform each of the points as I've shown to the right. Then you want to graph your brand new points A prime, B prime, C prime, followed by connecting each of those line segments. And now you've just successfully rotated triangle ABC in a positive 90-degree rotation about the origin. And that's going to do it for this section. We'll see you in class.